Welcome back to First Listens, that series where I listen to an album that I've not heard before.
Today we're going to be listening to 21 Pilots Blurryface. Now, I have heard this album countless times and I'm very excited for Joe to experience it for the first time. This is their fourth studio album and arguably the one that really put them on the map. Once this album dropped, they blew up from this point.
I'm actually so excited to listen to this. 21 Pilots are one of the biggest artists in the world. They've got some huge songs. I've no doubt that I'll have heard a few singles from this, but I see a lot of their fans online shouting about this album and other albums. So I want to know if I love it and if it is worth the hype.
Let's jump into the first track with Heavy Dirty Soul.
It's quite scary. Ooh. Oh. I was not expecting that start. That was unreal. What a flow. I feel like we've had 3 different songs in one already. So many different vocal styles.
The styles throughout this album are just all over the place, but they work so well together. The drums are particularly standout. Like, it's so fire throughout this whole project.
Really like the way that the instrumental just all drops in that moment to match with his vocals.
Feels very grandioso at this part, doesn't it? Like it's all opened out.
Death inspires me like a dog inspires a rabbit.
See, that line there, I'd never really understood what it meant, but when I go back and listen to it, I realise that he's saying he's scared of death and he's running away from it in the same way that a rabbit would run away from a dog. And it just, I don't know, there's something to that gives you this nice imagery of how he's coping with life.
I don't know if I'd call it nice imagery, but it's a smart line.
Yeah. Get that little shaker out. Liam Gallagher in the background.
Made it sound so epic. Just with those crashing cymbals coming in. Woo!
Half-time drum beat as well. So that's the intro track to Blurryface. What did you think, Joe?
I thought that was great. I thought it was a really cool way to introduce the album. I like the fact that he switched vocal styles a couple times. I think it kept the track interesting. For me, I've really liked the instrumental and how when he was switching vocal styles or going into a chorus, it'd kind of all like build up and just randomly drop in to match the energy of his vocals. I thought that was really cool. I think that might be the first time I've ever heard that song. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, the dynamics throughout it are really good. They have a lot of points where they put emphasis on the instrumental versus the vocals, and then at points they kind of make them coincide with each other, and it just creates this giant sound. It's so good.
Well, let's go on to track number 2, which is Stressed Out, a song that I have definitely heard before.
And amazingly, this is in like the top 50 most streamed songs on Spotify in history. And I think it's for good reason. So let's jump into it.
It's just such a cool sound, isn't it? Whoa.
I wish wish I found some better sounds no one's ever heard. I wish I had a better voice that sang some better words. I wish I found some chords in an order that is new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. I was told when I get older all my fears would shrink, but now I'm insecure and I care what people think. My name's Blurryface and I care what you think.
His rapping vocals and his singing vocals counter each other so nicely. He's got such a beautiful voice.
Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama
I've never really noticed how dark and introspective the lyrics are because it's such a big like song on the radio, etc. But it's actually really quite sad, isn't it?
Sometimes a certain smell will take me back to when I was young. How come I'm never able to identify where it's coming from? I'd make a candle out of it if I ever found it. Try to sell it, never sell out of it.
I have that with a certain smell. The other day I was in the shop and there was a bottle of hair gel that I used to use when I was in high school, and I took the lid off and smelt it and I was like, oh, that's high school right there.
Throwback.
But it would remind us of when nothing really mattered. Out of student loans and treehouse homes, we all would take the ladder.
I love that line there. Out of student loans and treehouse homes, we all would take the latter. But latter and ladder, so it's taking the ladder to the treehouse. So it's just, it's so simple, but it's clever. I
wouldn't have even noticed that.
Used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we'd fly it far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, wake up, you need to make money. Yeah.
Used to play pretend bunny. We used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend bunny. We used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we fly far away.
Couple different beat switches in this last section as well. I really liked the concept of that song. Obviously, I've heard it a million times before, but I've never really listened to and read the lyrics at the same time as listening. And that idea of like missing childhood and the freedom of it, and how as adults we're all stressed and we're thinking about X, Y, and Z and how we're going to get money and live and whatever. I enjoyed it. It was cool.
And what's really interesting about that is in the intro verse, he's talking about finding chords in order that's new. He wish he could have a better voice to sing the songs. And it's interesting because he's kind of saying like, you know, this creative process is really difficult for me. I feel like I'm kind of just repeating things that have happened before. But for this particular track to be the one that went absolutely stratospheric shows that he did find some chords that are in order that is new. Like he did manage that.
And also towards the end of the song, there was two different sections where the beat kind of changed a fair bit. So it kind of reminded me of that start of the track where he was finding the new chords and finding new ways in which he could put out that sound.
And then just to remember that there's only two people that are in 21 Pilots. And this song, the first two tracks have been written by Tyler Joseph, like on his own. So it's crazy the amount of talent that's there.
And if you are a 21 Pilots fan, make sure to hit like and subscribe. This is our first time listening to Blurryface, but we might have to do some other 21 Pilots projects in the future. I'm really enjoying this so far, but let's see what the third track, Ride, is like. Oh, I've heard this. That's the problem. I've probably heard more than just these two, but I won't know till they come on.
I just wanna stay in the sun where I find. I know it's hard sometimes. Pieces of peace in the sun's peace of mind. I know it's hard sometimes. Yeah, I think about the end just way too much.
This is so much happier than the first two, isn't it? It puts a smile on your face. You want to hit the woes right now,
No, I wanted to do it all.
Dying.
I'm falling, so I'm taking my time on my ride. I die for you, that's easy to say. We have a list of people that we would take. A bullet for them, a bullet for you, a bullet for everybody in this room. But they don't seem to see many bullets coming through. See many bullets coming through. Metaphorically, I'm the man, but literally, I don't know what I do. I'd live for you, and that's hard to do. Even harder to say when you know it's not true. Even harder to write when you know that tonight there were people back home who tried talking to you, but then you ignored them still. All these questions, they're falling like, who would you live for? Who would you die for? And would you ever kill?
It's just A lot more of a cozy, simple song, and with a title of Ride, it feels like you're going for a ride throughout it.
But it's them sounds in the background, it's like piano or electronic sounds. The way they've been edited, it sounds like you're going through like a fun fair or something.
The harmonies here.
Relatively simplistic drums, but so good.
I've been thinking too much. Help me. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. Help me. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. I've been thinking too much. Help me.
I'm really impressed with the amount of different directions they've taken so far. I feel I've listened to like 3 completely different songs that have given a completely different vibe. I don't know what to say. I'm really impressed. All 3 songs have been fun, but musically really impressive in terms of instrumental and vocal delivery.
The sounds that they use versus what's actually happening in the track just feels like it shouldn't be something that works, but it works every time. They've clearly taken little snippets from different genres, different styles of music, kind of collaborated them all into one thing, and it works on every single track. And also, Tyler Joseph can do the falsettos, he can do the kind of more shouty voice, bit of screamy voice, and then he's got the singing voice, softer voice, he's got the whole range.
Yeah, I really liked in that track, there was one part on the chorus where the time was like a serious, more screamy one, but I was expecting the time, but it was like time. And I was like, whoa. But the other thing, the songwriting in terms of the actual content, if you're reading into the lyrics, it's always quite like deep, and that one obviously thinking too much, and that ties into stressed out a little bit before because he's been thinking too much. And every song so far has just been written by Tyler Joseph, which I like when I know it's not a ghostwriter or someone else doing it. It's all him, and it's clearly very like personal feelings that he's exploring.
And I feel like when that is the case, you do end up with a project that's way more coherent because it's one person working on most of the tracks. Rather than when you have a lot of kind of songwriters thrown into it, it can mix it up a bit, and sometimes there'll be tracks that don't feel like it. But let's jump on to the next track here with Fairly Local.
Sounds like the soundtrack to a cyberpunk mission.
Yo, you bulletproof and black like a funeral. The wonder riders is burning, but we're so cold. It's the few, the proud, and the emotional. I'm fairly local.
The low end on this track is crazy.
You're walking down. I'm fairly local. Good people now.
Yo, this song will never be on the radio. Even if my click would have picked and the people would have vote, it's a few, the proud and the emotional.
I love the flow on that bit there.
Black like a funeral. The world around us is burning, but
Yeah.
we're so cold. It's a few, the proud and the emotional.
Very good at naturally including the O's, where in a lot of songs it can feel a bit forced, but in 21 Pilots, feels like it belongs there. And
It feels
makes you
like
wanna
part of
sing
the
it.
instrumental more so than anything, doesn't it? My only gripe with that song, it was a little bit repetitive. It felt like there was a lot of choruses, but I would say, again, the instrumental was very different to the first two. And there was bits in it when it kind of felt like there was a bit of a timer going on because the drums were slightly off beat and it built up this anxious feeling. But like you said, the low ends with the basses and even the drums themselves sounded really, really good.
Yeah, one thing that you can pick out from 21 Pilots is that their production is next level. Everything on there feels like there's been a lot of thought and effort put into every single element. And even in the parts where the instrumental drops out and just having that low end 808 just booming away underneath his vocals, I think it works quite well. I understand what you're saying about the repetition. It does feel somewhat repetitive, but at least when they bring a verse, a background, they'll do the lower filter on the voice, or they have the antagonistic first verse and second verse where he's saying like, I'll do the same dance as yesterday, and then in the next verse he says, I'll do a different dance to yesterday. So he's kind of switching up slightly.
Yeah, it wasn't repetitive to the point where I didn't enjoy the song. It just, I noticed that I'd kind of heard the same lyrics a fair few times. But we'll go on to the 5th track of the album, Tear in My Heart.
Can I just point out that I always thought that intro bit was in English, but apparently it seems like it's in Korean or something like that?
Yeah, it's some other language.
Had no idea that was the case. That's interesting. Thank you very much, Apple Music.
Sometimes you gotta bleed to know that you're alive and have a soul. But it takes someone to come around to show you how. She's the tear in my heart. I'm alive. She's the tear in my heart.
This is giving like early 2000s happy indie vibes.
Take me higher than I've ever been. Than I've ever been.
Really like the use of the synths in the background. Adds an extra layer, doesn't it?
The bass line on this is phenomenal.
You fell asleep in my car, I drove the whole time. But that's okay, I'll just avoid the holes so you sleep fine. I'm driving here, I sit, cursing my government for not using my taxes to fill holes with more cement. You fell asleep in my
Instruments slowly being added, harmonizations in the voice.
so you sleep fine. I'm driving here, I sit, cursing my government for not using my taxes to fill holes with more cement. My heart is my armor, she's the tear in my heart. She's a carver, she's a butcher with a smile. Cut me farther than I've ever been.
That was just a proper indie track. It reminded me of like the Bravery or the Strokes or something, but with a bit of an electronic twist.
Little bit of an MGMT vibe in there as well. I think what I really like about that track is the dynamics in it. You keep getting these swelling build-ups where the instruments will be introduced every so often, and then you get the harmonization on the vocals, then you get kicked with the chorus, and then all of a sudden drops out to just piano and Tyler, and it just works so well to kind of build you up, and then you go, oh, nice moment of relaxation, and then it comes back again, and then, yeah.
But if anything, it feels like the most simplistic song we've had so far, which I think we needed. The rest of them, there's been so many little elements coming in and out and lots going on with the instrumental. There was in this, like I mentioned, the synths coming in, and I mean, it was an indie song, but the guitars weren't quite as prominent as there would be in the majority of indie songs. But it gave me a moment to breathe and just feel a little bit happier. I feel like we've had one or two now where it's actually put a smile on my face, but I'm expecting next to make me depressed again.
On that track in particular, the bass is a really standout moment for me because you can hear it raw and ready. You can hear the actual bass guitar being played with the plectrum on it and everything like that. And that always stands out to me because I love bass guitar. But up next is possibly one of my favourite tracks off the album, which is Lane Boy. I'm very excited to see what you think.
Part of me wants to hate it now. Just because you love it.
I don't know what these instruments they're using are, but they sound so sick.
I don't know how I would have thought this. Regardless, all these songs I'm hearing are so heartless. Don't trust a perfect person and don't trust a song that's flawless. Honest, there's a few songs on this record that feel common. I'm in constant confrontation with what I want and what is popping in the industry. It seems to me that singles on the radio are currency. My creativity's on the free when I'm playing shows.
Again, talking about like how music in general is subjective, and this whole track being called Lane Boy is about him saying, you know, people are telling me I should stay in my lane, but I don't want to. I want to make the music I want to make, and I'm very glad that they do that.
If you ask Zach, he's my brother, he likes when I rap fast, but let's backtrack, back to this.
What is that they're using now? It's like I can hear a bit of electric buzzing in my right ear, but then it's, I don't even know what it is. It's weird, but I love it.
If you get in between someone I live with me, you're gonna feel the heat of my cavalry. All these songs I'm hearing are so heartless. Don't trust a perfect person and don't trust a song that's flawless. They say stay in your lane, boy, but we go where we want to. They think this thing is a highway.
The way he's using the hi-hat just in the background, it's proper keeping the beat all the time. Must be knackered by end of song though, and like getting how many times he's hitting it right in each moment. Bit of breakbeat coming in. Kind of reminds me of like a Fort Minor remix or something.
Just Josh going crazy on the drums there. Again with that bass guitar.
That just feels like a little flex, like, no, we won't stay in our lane, we'll do what we want. There you go, even more so.
Lane Boy, what did you think?
I feel like I'm getting whiplash with this album. Honestly, every song that comes on, it's just completely different, but in a really good way. Like, I liked the concept of that song. In terms of, no, we won't do what the industry wants us to do and we're going to make music that we want to make. And I know you mentioned like a tempo change or a beat switch a couple of times in there. And I think that's been the shining light of this album so far. The fact this is quite old now, I've never heard it before, and it still sounds really fresh and modern and different to everything that I hear. And that song was a prime example of that because it switched up so many times.
And I think that track in particular, so far on the album, is the biggest glowing light for Josh's drumming skills because he was allowed to do whatever he wanted in those kind of breakdown sections. That was the reason I like that track so much, was because it has multiple of those breakdowns where it just lets the instruments speak and Josh goes crazy on the drums, and you can just hear the raw talent that's featured within the two of them.
And if you're listening along with us for the first time, or if you're a 21 Pilots fan who's heard this a million times, let us know in the comments what your favourite track is. I know that Tim has loved pretty much every track so far, so it might be a difficult choice for 21 Pilots fans. I'll try to give one at the end. But up next is The Judge. It's a weird sound.
Atmospheric.
Don't like that. It makes me feel
kind of like
uneasy.
blood pumping, doesn't it? Tyler's classic ukulele. He loves that ukulele.
I know that, yeah. Tyler's classic.
Oh, you know how he is with that ukulele.
Na 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 na, oh oh, na 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 na, oh oh, na 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 na.
Sounds like the start to an Ed Sheeran track if he was trapped in the Upside Down.
When the leader of the bad guys sang something soft and soaked in pain, I found my way, right time, wrong place, as I pled my case. You're the judge, oh no, set me free. You're the judge, oh no, set me free. I know my soul's freezing, hell's hot for good reason, so please. Na, na, na.
It's giving very theatre production.
3 lights are lit, but the 4th one's out. I can tell cause it's a bit darker than the last night's bout. You're the judge, oh no, set me free.
That falsetto note is so good, man.
Oh no, set me free. I don't know if this song is a surrender or a rebel. I don't know if this one is about me or the devil.
Just completely change the track again.
But it's still a similar vibe, but I feel like it's the first time it's not been all over the place so far.
It's that almost reggae beat going on that does it for me. Very non-standard. That organ trill there, just... Oh. So, I'll let you be the judge of that one.
I don't really know how I feel about that. I think it maybe went in a few too many different directions for the first time in this album. I didn't dislike it still, and I liked a lot of the like sections, but I just felt I never really got a minute to dive into it properly. Every time I was getting used to what was happening and kind of starting to notice all the different instruments and stuff, it'd switch. I imagine that's a song where if you'd listen to it a few times, maybe you'd be able to enjoy the individual bits a little bit more, but it felt like 3 songs in one.
I think that's kind of what nearly every track on this album is so far. I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah,
I feel
that
like
was more so than the others.
Can be slightly jarring, I guess, on the first listen. I mean, I'm coming from a biased point of hearing this album however many times, so I really enjoy that track. One thing that track really kind of shines through for me is the energy that they have when they're playing their instruments. Like, just from that track alone, and obviously all the other tracks we've heard so far, you can tell that they're actively moving around in the studio. They're not just stood at a fucking synthesizer just pressing notes. They're fully going for it, singing into the mics. And that also translates really well to their live shows, because those are perhaps the most energetic live shows I've ever seen. And the show that they put on is phenomenal.
It must be so difficult for them to perform a song like that live, though. Is it just them two? Do they not have anyone else with them in the back or something when they're doing a live show?
Not to my knowledge. No, when I've seen them live, it's just been those two on stage. They might occasionally have a session musician, but other than that, it's just those two.
With the amount of instruments and sound effects, etc., that go on it, they must absolutely nail it. But let's go on to track number 8. We're over the halfway point now in Doubt.
Sounds like a cat meowing, doesn't it? Like been sampled.
It's like those, you know, those videos where it's like someone playing the cat keyboard.
Yeah,
it could be that.
Yeah. And then drops into this trap beat.
No, all they've done is turn the cat sound down a little bit, put treble on.
Scared of my own immaturity, scared of my own ceiling. Don't forget about me. Don't forget about
I can't unhear the cats now.
when I doubt you. Without you. No.
This really reminds me of like early, well, not even that early, but like 2010s trap music. They used to have like a trap mix on YouTube.
Sure if I can see this ever stopping. Don't forget about me.
Like with that beat, you think it's going to go somewhere else. And it comes back to this really nice, major, just feel-good beat.
Feels like they're having a lot of fun with this one. Just kind of doing whatever they want, having a bit of a laugh in the studio.
Got the cat piano out.
Yeah.
Get on that cat keyboard, Joseph. Tyler, you're Joseph.
But even how they're using his voice as an instrument there.
There's that low end again. So for me personally, that's one of the tracks off the album that I wouldn't really listen to outside of listening to the album as a whole. It just doesn't hit the same for me as other tracks. It's still a decent track, but for me personally, it's not quite got the intricacies of the other tracks.
I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was simple. I thought it was the boys having fun, and it didn't seem as serious as the last couple tracks, although the lyrical content was still quite serious, exploring like relationships and not wanting to be forgotten about and how important someone is to him. But I know what you mean. You kind of put me off by saying the cat thing at the start. I couldn't get the idea of it being a cat keyboard out my head.
I mentioned that it kind of sounds like a cat. You brought up the cat keyboard.
Yeah,
Don't
but
throw that at me.
They're both kitty references, aren't they? So
references.
It just made me think of cats every time that came in.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've ruined it for myself now because when I listen, we've probably ruined this for every 21 Pilots fan who's listening to this now. They're just going to imagine a cat keyboard, or made it infinitely better? Let us know. Cat Keyboard, does it make the song worse? Does it make the song better? We need to know now.
Up next, Polarize.
Just like the Cat Keyboard's going to polarize the audience. They love their atmospheric intros.
That was a very cool intro. They just don't give you a minute to relax, do they, ever?
Lovely bit of bass.
They've done this well a few times in the album where they've just kind of pulled back a lot of the elements and started to introduce a new sound. Not even quite a dropout, it's just a cool way to switch directions.
Return to the chorus vocals without the chorus instrumental, which I think is really interesting.
I would like to point out, I feel if any other artist was doing this much da-da-da-da-da-das, you'd be losing your mind live on camera.
My point more so with this is it doesn't feel forced.
I know that they used it as an instrument, but they'd done it like 8 times before that as well.
I wanted to be a better brother, better son.
If this was a rapper that had dissed Eminem, you'd be losing it right now.
Wanted to be a better brother, better son.
Tell you what, a bit of rap beef between Tyler Joseph and Eminem would probably go quite hard, to be fair. It'd be an interesting one, definitely.
You'd be torn. You literally wouldn't know what to do.
Did Polarize you?
Nah, I thought it was another cool one. To be honest, listening to this for the first time, I feel like I'm exploring the soundscape of 21 Pilots, and it feels very ADHD induced. Do you know what I mean? Like there's lots of different sounds. Like, oh, we've got this idea. Yeah, let's do that. We've got this idea. Let's do that. Let's throw this into the track. And I actually think it's probably been one of the most difficult first listens, because anyone who's watched us before knows that we love to dive into like the production and the intricacies of it and what's going on. It's hard to do that with this because there's just so much going on, which to say it's 2 people has left me massively impressed so far.
On this track in particular, now I've re-listened to the album in this context, I've noticed how they haven't really used the same sounds on any track. They managed to keep the soundscape sounding similar, and it's all very 21 Pilots, but there isn't ever, oh, that's the same synth from there. Oh, that's the same drum beat from there. It's all unique.
Well, that's why I said I'm exploring the soundscape of 21 Pilots, because it's unique, but it's all them. It's like it's got their mark on it, but I don't really know why.
Jump into the next track here with We Don't Believe What's on TV. Do you believe what's on TV? I try not to.
I don't really watch TV.
Oh, yeah.
Don't watch
Who
it.
does? That uke and that bass in tandem. Oh, beautiful.
That guitar sounds like da 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 da. I don't know what song that is, but
What the fuck is that?
ooh, oh, lady, take me down to the riptide. Is that this song?
No.
It sounds like that though.
Are you thinking of like George Ezra or something?
I don't
like
know.
that?
I'll find out what it's called.
We don't believe what's on TV because it's what we want to see, and what we want, we know we can't believe.
It sounds like Vance Joy, Riptide. Same melody.
I need to know
Someone will know.
when I fell.
Agree with me in the comments.
I used to say I wanna die before I'm old, but because of you I might think twice.
That's the first edition of horns in this album, to my knowledge from listening, and I think it adds such a cool dynamic to the tracks because paired with Tyler Joseph's ukulele, which yet again, you remember what I was saying about his ukulele? He's back again with it. I think it just works nicely and kind of just opens it up to a new sound.
'Cause if you stick around, I'll sing you pretty sounds and we'll make money.
Feels like it's getting real hectic.
But I don't care what's in your hair. I just wanna know what's on your mind. I don't care
The harmonies.
What does it mean by I don't care what's in your hair? I don't get that. What could be in her hair?
What could be in her hair, guys? What's in her hair?
A bobble or like a
Gold. She's got gold in her hair.
with the amount of O's. I feel like we're going back to Blink-182 California era.
What I really like about the little ending bit is there's just a really light snare, and then every time he says yeah, it does a harder hit on the snare. Just adds a little, beautiful.
Just a little detail for the real fans. I enjoyed that again. The last couple have done quite well at not being dingy and depressing and actually making me move about a bit, wanting to dance around. I'd imagine if you heard that live, people would be having a fun time. But I also think that they've kind of lacked a little bit. I don't know. There's been a bit more repetition. There's been in the last two tracks, especially in that end bit there, but there's been a lot more O's and na-na-nas and things along those lines that haven't ruined the tracks, but I've just noticed that it's been quite repetitive.
But do you not think, in the way that you were saying it's got those indie vibes to it, that was a prominent thing in indie music anyway? OOOs and yeah-yeah-yeahs.
Yeah, I'm not saying it ruined the tracks. I'm just saying I started to notice that we were hearing the same line again and again and again, which is fine. That's not necessarily a negative.
I think an upside to it is that, especially in that last section there, I'll agree that he does do it a lot, but every time he's doing the iteration of it, it's getting quieter and calmer. Instead of shouting yeah, he's whispering yeah, and there is a bit of dynamic to it still. So yeah, repetition's there, but there's dynamics too. Let's jump into the next track, which is Message Man. Got that kind of reggae vibes again.
Especially when that bass jumps in there. That was really interesting. As his vocals slowed down, the notes in the background sped up to match the previous vocal. It's cool.
My people singing. My people singing. Life is up here, but you comment below. And the comments will always become common motivation to promote your show's next episode, so your brain knows to keep going even though.
Take us down to the basement for a second.
Does a good job of tying together your thoughts so far on the album being energetic and having kind of nicer sounding songs, but then dingy songs. I feel like that was kind of a mixture of both of those styles.
Yeah, 50-50, a little bit of each. I liked that song, but I thought, I don't know, I was reading into the lyrics and I thought they were a little bit strange in some moments. Like it's like he was talking to their fans specifically. So maybe they'll love that a lot more. But when it's like singing for my people and stuff, I was a bit like, all right, mate.
Yeah, overall, I think the track is definitely what you would class as more of an album track than the rest of them. Again, there's no discredit to it, but probably one of the ones that I wouldn't come back to and listen to on its own.
I would say so far, I'm really hoping we've got 3 tracks left. I'm hoping some of these are amazing because I think the first half of the album was much better than the last couple of tracks we've heard. Maybe that's because, as I say, I've kind of understood their soundscape a little bit more, and I've not disliked these few. I think maybe if these were at the start, I'd have probably liked them as much as the ones at the start. But we're up next with Hometown. A bit of an 80s vibe.
Such a bright, open feeling when that kicks in. You're talking about the hometown being in the dark. This feels like it's sunny. You know what I mean?
This has got
feeling.
This has got them indie feels again, hasn't it? Do you know what this would be perfect for? A FIFA soundtrack.
Yeah, actually, as the intro track when you're starting it up.
Oh yeah, like when you're in the menus, this would fit right in. I feel like it might be. I don't know, but it would perfectly fit FIFA.
It very well could be. Just a sick drum fill there. Really filtered, sounds nice, explodes into that chorus again.
I really enjoyed that. I think that was a moment of calm that the album needed. Not particularly massively calm, but enough where there wasn't 1,000 different directions. It felt like more of a feel-good indie track, which, you know, I love, so it's right down my alley. And it just gave me a moment to reset. I didn't think I had to like look into every different element, but all the elements that were there gelled together to create this quite nice, grand, like cloudy feeling.
Interestingly, this is the first track I've seen that has a second writing credit on it, and it's Mike Elizondo. I'm hoping I've said that correctly. And I'm hoping somebody out there as a 21 Pilot fan can tell us, who is Mike Elizondo? Is it somebody that works with it? Is it perhaps somebody that they sampled? You know, sometimes artists have to get a writing credit because it sounds similar to another track. Or is it somebody that's just friends with the band or somebody? So let us know.
I'm sure someone will tell us. But if you have made it this far, we've got 2 songs left. Please do remember to hit like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell us which other 21 Pilots album we should listen to for the first time.
And also, if you are a 21 Pilots fan, leave a comment telling us your favourite little bit of lore, a little fact about Blurryface, because I'm very intrigued to see what some of the production stories are or if there's any cool stories around this album.
Not Today is up next.
I don't know why, I just feel I'm better off staying in the same room I was born in. I look outside and see a whole world better off without me in it, trying to transform it. You are out of my mind. Oh, you
Church organs coming in.
Oh,
It's religious.
you waste all this time trying to get to me, but you are out of my mind. Yeah, listen, I know this one's a contradiction because of how happy it sounds, but the lyrics are so down. It's
Breaking the fourth wall.
because it represents, wait, better yet, it is who I feel I am right now. Heard you say, not today. Tore the curtains down, windows open now, make a sound. Heard your voice, there's no choice. Tore the curtains down, windows open now, make a noise.
A lot more of a big band feeling on this one. A lot more instruments that they've not really explored previously. Oh, that trumpet. Sounds very regal, doesn't it? Almost like the Queen or King are passing through. You've got to lay out all the trumpets, get everybody there.
See what the last track is like, but that sounded like a good album ender to me. The way that all the trumpets and different instruments and stuff were coming in, it felt like a bit of a celebration at the end where it seemed like a lot more like real instruments, if you will, were coming in and out. And I thought it was, again, a really fun track. That's one thing I've got to say for a lot of these. They've just been fun.
There was a lot of musicality in that. Like you say, there was, I think at some point there was some saxophonists who were in there, and then you got the trumpets, and you had kind of, maybe not a whole orchestra, but there was definitely some orchestral instruments in there. I do wonder who plays those instruments. So if somebody can tell me if that is Tyler himself, because I'll be blown away if it is, or Josh, or just somebody like that. I'm sure that one of those two has the skills to do it.
I mean, Tyler was doing his best impression of a sheep a couple times with the bars.
Yeah, so you never know. But my question for you is, with the last track, Goner, what direction do you think it's going to go in?
Well, the fact that you've said that means it's going to be really weird, isn't it?
Not necessarily, no.
Do
you think it's going to be an upbeat ending? Do you think it's going to be a dismal ending? Do you think it's going to be a mid-ground ending?
I think that it's going to have some sort of like weird character building towards the next album.
Oh, okay.
Because I know that their albums kind of like have themes and stuff. So maybe this one's going to hint at what the next theme is. We'll find out. Gonna. Is it a sad one?
Could be.
I'm a goner. Somebody catch my breath. I'm a goner. Somebody catch my breath. I'm inside out. You're underneath.
That snare makes you feel like it's about to go somewhere bigger, then it all just drops out into this somber moment again.
I'm inside out.
It's like a marching band drum in the background, isn't it?
Though I'm weak and beaten down, I'll slip away unto the sound. The ghost of you is close to me. I'm inside out, you're underneath. Don't let me be gone. Don't let me be gone. Don't let me be! Don't let me be! I wanna be known by you. I wanna be known by you.
And there it is. That's Blurryface.
I enjoyed that. It felt like he was, obviously he'd referenced Blurryface earlier on in the album as kind of like his alter ego, and it felt like he was trying to break free of that then and like say to someone like, I want you to see who I am, not who Blurryface, if that's like his alter ego is. I don't know if I'm getting that right, but that's what I got from it anyway. I thought it was quite a interesting way to end the album. I liked the couple of times that he did the like more raw, screamy vocals. I think he can nail that pretty well. I wish we saw that like angst and anger a few more times, to be honest.
Yeah, I think as a project, I think they kind of kept it on the calmer side. So the moments in which he did come through with these more raucous vocals, a bit more angst, like you say, it really hit hard. But Blurryface, 21 Pilots, what did you think?
I was really impressed by the way that they travelled throughout different soundscapes and kind of went in and out of different genres. We mentioned reggae, we mentioned indie, we mentioned electronic. And I think that each one they went into, they put their own twist on it and did it in a very cool way. Like I said, it felt very much like 21 Pilots. And I've heard lots of the tracks throughout the years. I've never sat and listened to a full album, so we can have the whole discography to go if we want. But I can see why people can get very invested in this world because it feels like their own thing and their own sound that they're putting out there. It's not copied, it's unique.
It's very difficult to compare 21 Pilots to any other act that's out there, even today. Like, this was released in 2015, so that's 10 years ago at this point. Even to this point, I don't think there's another artist that's put out an album that is kind of this unique and the sound that they go for. And throughout the album, they've made reference multiple times to wanting to have that sound and not wanting to conform to societal norms or put them in a box. They don't like the idea that they have to be put in a box. They want to include a bit of rap. They want to include a bit of singing. Bro wants to get his ukulele out and go ham on that. And that's fine because it all works so well. And I think to be able to have that amount of uniqueness, you have to be very confident in the sound that you want, which also kind of reflects in their skills and abilities, because to execute that to the level that they have with the production quality that's on this album is, you know, it's not easy to do. And to say that 99% of the tracks were written by Tyler Joseph is, that's a credit to him.
Yeah, that production quality is a big thing. And I alluded to it earlier on. I like the fact that it's two of them and they writ, or just Tyler writ, most of the songs. And it shows there was a lot of personal, emotional moments in there, especially in like Stressed Out. I never even noticed how emotional and serious that was in terms of lyrical content up till listening to it in this setting. And that's why I enjoy doing these so much, because I find out little facts about songs I've already heard that I didn't know beforehand. The only downside to me for this album, I'd say I've really enjoyed like the first 7 or 8 tracks, and then I think there were 3 in the middle where I was a bit like, all right, and then the last 3 picked back up again for me. But for a 14-track album, that flew by. It didn't feel like we just listened to that for nearly an hour. It absolutely went.
I think it's very front-loaded, I'll agree with that, but then I do wonder if it's because all the energetic tracks are towards the beginning, and I know we've said it many times, but we are a fan of energy, so maybe that's why the middle kind of felt like a lull, but then at the end, it's still got that somber feel, but there is an uptick to it, and there's a little injection of energy, especially with Ghana as the last track. That outro is so chaotic and so just, there's so much emotion in it that it really just tops the whole project off.
And even when we say it's a lull, there was no track that offended me. There wasn't a single song where I was like, oh, this is awful, turn it off. There was just a few where maybe there was a bit too much going on and my brain was a bit overwhelmed because we've had it for so long, and then it felt like in the last couple of tracks they got that mix just right. But I really enjoyed that, and as I said, if you're a 21 Pilots fan, you've got to this point in the video, firstly, like and subscribe. It'll put a big smile on Tim's face. Second, let us know which other album from Tyler and Josh we should do.
Thank you very much for watching.